Hey, welcome back. Now we are going to understand what has happened in the global market in the last 24 hours. We are majorly looking at the prominent major global markets, starting from US market till Australian markets, covering major Australian markets like Europe, China, Japan, India, and South Africa. Let's begin this analysis from the US market. And when we look at the US market, we can see that the market has come down to 1.454 percentage. So at the beginning, it was somewhere near 5874.72, and it has come down to a low of 5827.04. That is an drop of nearly 1.54 percentage in the US market. It is important to understand whether the trend is only limited to US market, or the major bearish trend that we have witnessed in the US market is a mirror of the trend in other markets. Europe is a prominent market, and it has, like what we have seen in the US market, the European market has also seen a drop. It has come down to 4930.15. That is a 0.95 percentage drop. At the beginning, it was somewhere near 4956.07. That will explain how intense that drop is, and there are chances that the market to go further down in the coming hours. So considering the fact that US, the major market, which usually follow the same trend as in the Europe, is in the downside, and it is showing a very powerful downward trend. Let's understand whether the situation in the Western markets, the prominent two Western markets, is down. If that situation is reflected only in Western markets, or can we see any impact of that in Asian markets? It's time to understand that. It's clear that Asian market things are not different. The three major Asian markets are Chinese market, Japanese market, and Indian market. All three are on the bearish side. Even though Japanese market and Indian market, even though are in the bearish side, Chinese market are showing just a slight bearish trend. This indicates that even though the Japanese even though the Chinese market is in the bearish side, it does not completely reflect the intensity that we have seen in the Western markets. It is very less bearish as compared to the US market. Japanese market, at the beginning, it was somewhere near 3150.10, and it now remains somewhere near 316.76. And the data shows that the market is in a sense of indecision. There is a tough competition between buyers and sellers in the market. There are potential that the market can give an impression that buyers are getting more strength or sellers are getting more strength, but still the market is in a major indecision. So we cannot clearly say that the market is either bearish or bullish. The current trend in China is a typical example of how an indecision market looks like. In Japan, at the beginning, market was somewhere near 39508.61, and it has come down to 39190.41. When we look at the overall trend, that is an 1.05 percentage drop we have witnessed in the Japanese market. Indian market, similar to what we have seen in other major Asian markets, it has also seen a drop. It has come down to 23218.55 to 23085.95. That is an 1.47 percentage drop we have seen in the Indian market. This gives an impression that almost all the Western markets, all the major Western markets, and even the Asian markets are in a slightly bearish trend. And if that is reflected in Africa and Australia, then we have to come up to a conclusion that today the world, almost all major markets in the world, are in downtrend. So it is important to understand whether the situation in South Africa and Australia do comply with the trend in other markets. There is no doubt the South African market is completely in line with what we have seen in the Western markets. Especially, they are mirroring the trend that we have been witnessed in the US market. The market at the beginning was somewhere near 83242.86, and from there it has come down to 82064.89. That is an 1.68 percentage growth drop is what we have witnessed in the South African market. South Africa, as we all know, it's a very prominent market in Africa. It reflects the major capitalist market trend in the African continent, and that gives an impression that this market follow the trend in Western markets. specifically the trend in the US market this day. Yes, so it's finally we have come to the Australian market. It's almost very clear that the trend in Australian market is also completely following the trend in the US market. That means Australian market is in the downside and they are showing a bearish momentum. At the beginning, the market was somewhere near 828.4.50, and from there the market has come down to 819.1.90. that is a 1.23% drop we have witnessed in the Australian market. That can help us to a conclusion that almost all major markets are showing a very powerful bearish momentum today. Situation, if we can say that if any major market is showing a slightly different kind of trend, then we have to say that China is the only market which is showing a slightly better edge for buyers, but still the market in the China is controlled mostly by sellers. Sellers do have a small edge over buyers in the Chinese market right now. That is a 0.25% edge, but still that is just a 0.25% edge compared to the fact that the major markets like US, Japan, India, South Africa and Australia has shown a drop of more than 1%. That is, some markets like South Africa has shown a drop of 1.73%. Considering the fact that the drop that the Chinese market has shown is far less. That was an overall review of the global market, how the market has performed today. This is 13 January 2025.